Hello. So, last time we finished off Alone Against Nyarlathotep. Sadly, with all the characters dying, but we did our best. And next week we'll be starting Ker Nathalis, which is a procedural dungeon crawl game. And I've not actually opened this book at all yet. I need to read it over the next week. But as a little break between the two, I've got Doom Pilgrim. You'll see the games get progressively smaller as we go along. So this week we're playing the smallest of the games, which is not really a role-playing game at all. It's more of a card game with RPG elements, which I've played one quick game of this to kind of get a feel for the rules, but I've not really got hugely into it. And I also have a supplement here, Doom Deeper, which adds a few expansion options to the base game. So, what is Doom Pilgrim? It is well, firstly, it comes in this wonderful little box thing, which has this nice little clasp to unfold, and you can see it's a little bent from where I've opened and closed it a few times, but it's pretty nice, and the whole thing kind of unfolds. All the rules are actually on the box, like here are the core rules here, and they're expanded here. But essentially, in this game, you are someone who's on a journey, going somewhere. What that journey is isn't really explained. I mean, it's a pilgrimage of some sort. You can tell from the name of the game. But the way we play it is every turn, I will turn over. No, not even turn over. I will draw the top 3 cards from the deck, and then I have to decide. I have to choose one of these to discard. So let's say maybe this one I would discard. One to put at the bottom of the deck to encounter later, maybe this one. And then I turn over the remaining one and do it now. And all I have to go on is the art on the cards. And as you can see, this is all pretty abstract. Like on this one, we've got some sort of like figure here, maybe. This is some sort of landscape, and this we've got a guy holding some sort of rod, with like a settlement of some sort in the distance, which actually induces a kind of interesting element to this game, in that this is a game you can become good at with practice. Like if you play like a few games of Doom Pilgrim, you start to learn what some of the cards mean, and then you might see a card and remember, oh, this card is good if I have the relic of Saint what's his name. I don't have the relic yet, so I'm going to put this card at the bottom of the deck so that next time I encounter it, maybe I will have the relic and I can get the positive effects. So that's quite fun. I will say a downside of these cards is they're really big, which does make it kind of hard to shuffle. I mean, look at them. They're so big. I don't have like tiny baby hands. I have normal human-sized hands, and these cards are just so big, which makes shuffling them a real pain. But that's my only like complaint. They do have a lot of text on them, so they'd probably be unusably small if they were a bit smaller. Now, Doom Deeper, it has 3 sets of expansions cards in it. It has Futile Havens, which makes the game easier by adding kind of safe places. Fatal Ends, which makes the game harder by adding more game over conditions. And Pagan Echoes, which kind of has a mixture of both and adds a more like pagan theme to the game. Also, I should say the objective of the game is to get through the entire deck, and we'll have a number of cards in this deck based on how long we want the game to go for. But you complete the game by getting through the deck. You lose the game if you have 5 wounds of any sort. If you lose a paired organ, so if you lose both eyes, both legs, or both hands, or both arms, I suppose, both kidneys, and so on, that is game over. If you have 3 diseases of any type in total, if you have 3 curses of any type in total, or if you have 3 psychic drops, which are kind of sanity damage, I guess, of the same type. So you can have lots of psychic drops of different types, but you can't have 3 of the same type. So you could have like 2 fear and 2 confusion and 2 fatigue, and that's all fine because you've only got 2 of each. But if you went up to like 3 fear, that would then be game over, and you are doomed if game over happens. And there's a few like suggestions for alternate rules. So one option is blind fate, which is where rather than choosing from 3 cards, you just play through the deck in order. Always take the top card. There is raw fate, where normally when we choose when we have our 3 cards and we choose, so we have one. Let's say we discard this one, so it's just gone. I put it over here, and we put like this one at the bottom of the deck, and this is the one we encounter. In the raw fate option, we don't put it at the bottom of the deck. We put it aside and make a new deck. And then once we've worked through the main deck, we play through this deck in order, and we no longer do the 3 card thing for this secondary deck we've got. There's immortal mode, which is kind of baby mode. You don't have game over. You just play through and tell a story from what happens. Let me just check something. Okay, good. I am alive. My stream preview said still have my offline image for some reason. But anyway, so there's baby mode, and then there's the hardworking lazy ass mode, where you don't write anything down. I will be writing things down. I have a sheet of paper. There's also an official Doom Pilgrim character sheet, but I don't have a printer, so I'm just going to use a piece of paper. So in the lazy mode, you lie down in your bed comfortably while playing. Don't write anything down. Don't use a character sheet at all. Just remember stuff. And if you don't remember, if you have something, you don't have it. And that's that. And then there's a few options on the website for like co-op play and competitive play. So it's a pretty simple game. But interesting. And let's see. So it says somewhere how many cards we should have. Where is it? So it is kind of cool having the instructions all on the box. Here we go. But yes, it's surprisingly hard to find things sometimes. Okay, so there are 3 difficulties. There is the Son of Bane, where you use all 90 cards. The Damned one, where you use 60 cards. And the Poor Worm, where you only use 45 cards. I think we'll start with the Damned one, 60 cards. And I think let's start without the Doom Deeper expansion. Let's just start. We'll see how we go with 45 cards from the base deck. And as I said, shuffling these is really, really hard. So I'm just relying on the fact that I don't know what order these cards are in, because yeah, shuffling them is a pain. So I'm just gonna do a few of these horribly ineffectual shuffles. Just to mix it up a little bit more, and then what is it? 60 cards. So I will deal the top 30 cards off and just put them in the box. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. 10. I believe that was 30. Let me just double check. Yep, that's 30 cards. So we now have 60 left in this deck. I will put the 30 cards just over here, off to the side. and let us begin. So the box says a game takes, it says somewhere, 15 to 90 minutes. So this definitely isn't like a 3-hour long full stream game, but that's okay if I want to play a couple of games, maybe with some of the different expansion packs. And it's really quiet with me just playing cards by myself, so I'm actually going to put the background music on, just to tone that down a little bit more. Maybe a little bit quiet. There we go. Okay. Right, so we have what looks like a castle on a rock cliff with, I think we've got like a shadowy figure down here, maybe looking at it. We have a bridge with some people on it. And we have what looks like a mountain pass, or maybe like a cave pass with a big, like some sort of pass with a rock wall on one side and a sheer drop off to the other, with a figure standing at the end. I think I'm going to put this one at the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna get rid of this one and go for this one. Alright, so yeah, they have quite a bit of text on. I assume this is totally illegible on screen, but sorry. Dark Castle. One of the most dangerous adventures, I can't read. One of the most dangerous adventures awaits you in the Tar Black Castle, ruled by the monstrous Black Knights. Uh-oh. I'd best remember this one. Black Knights. Fearsome. Increase your fear by 1 and flee while you can, or enter and see how or if you get through. And I have to decide before reading on. I feel like I probably can't. Like I've just started the game. I don't have any like weapons or anything. I'm probably not going to defeat a fearsome Dark Knight, so I'll just take the fear, I think. And I'll note down I have a psychic drop. One fear. Okay. Right, next we have just some guys. Lots of guys in this one. Who looks the most friendly? This one does not look too terribly friendly. It has a pitchfork. Between these two, there's some sort of settlement here, like a castle. Whereas I don't really know what's going on in the background here. Let's get rid of this one. I'll go for these guys. I'll put this one at the bottom of the deck. So the giant cards are kind of hard to pick up sometimes. Monastery of the Broken. Their monastery is hardly more than a system of miserable caves. I don't really get caves from this background, but okay. Their monastery is hardly more than a system of miserable caves, but local monks are very eloquent concerning all possible dangers looming in the world out there. They are especially skilled and keen at portraying various types of the most brutal tortures you may be subjected to, with skinning alive as the mildest of them. So, brother, continues the monk, you should stay with us to avoid these horrors. Okay, I have a choice. I can stay with them till my crappy death in their dirty and stinky but peaceful haven, or I can refuse the offer and continue my journey the next day, just after I rest and eat a little. But your staying in their company is not without all consequences. Your courage and morale drop which would give me 1 fear. Well, it's game over, or I get my second point of fear, so I guess I'm just taking my second point of fear. Also, I should leave the card I played face up. That's what it says on the box. Alrighty, what do we got here? We have a wilderness with some trees in it beneath the sky. This looks like an executioner. And these people could be pilgrims. They're wearing hooded robes and holding like staffs. They could be walking sticks, and there's like a line of them as if they're on a journey. I'm going to get rid of this guy. Put this at the bottom and encounter the potential pilgrims. So let's see, do I have anything I could rest these cards on that makes it a little bit easier to pick up? I have a spirit level I can... yeah, okay, I'll just put the deck of cards on my spirit level there. Perfect. I have a spirit level just on my desk accessible because I didn't put it away yet. Okay, pilgrims, I think. Elder gods worshippers. Yeah, that's close enough. Beings from the deepest pits of time are sleeping, awaiting their return. Now, the moment is nearer than ever. You swallow the remark that if the event is to come in the future, the priest's sentence is valid any time. That's true. It'll be better not to provoke them, as you can be glad they aren't hostile. In fact, they even offer you to join them. They must have seen some qualities for this honorary post in you. Nevertheless, to join them you must be a freak. The sum of your confusion, mind disruption, and insanity must be 2 or more. I'm not a freak. And not be a big coward. Dismay and fear together has to be no bigger than 2. So I'm not a coward, but I'm also not a freak. So I am not qualified. Does anything happen if I... Let's see... No, it looks like the rest of this is what happens if I choose to join them. So I'm not joining them. So that's that. Okay, we have maybe like a town or some village or some sort. We have a street. So again, another settlement of some sorts. And a guy. Which of these looks most fearsome? The guy doesn't look like frightening, I would say. I think we could trust the guy. I'm gonna put the guy at the bottom of the deck. I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna discard this. Merchant from the old tower. This tower used to be a part of the town defense system, but now, with the walls torn down a long time ago, it is abandoned. Or at least abandoned by anyone official. Slum people told her that you could find a very special type of merchant here that has some various magic things for each customer. It's dark inside, but you see the artifacts are of superior quality regardless. So for 1 gold piece, I don't have any gold by the way. You don't start with gold, you have to get it through cards. 1 gold piece, a Mad Jester's cap. For 3 gold pieces, 7 Mile shoes. That let me look through the cards faster, that would be pretty nice. For 9 gold, a Belt of Rapid Fate. Things don't go to the bottom, they're just discarded instead. These are all great, but I don't have any gold, so I can't get them, so I guess that's gone. Okay, we have... These look like knights over here. They don't look especially evil. They just look knightly. We have men with spears and some sort of beast. I want to say the beast is like a angry gorilla, perhaps. And we have a wilderness with two distant figures, like ascending a hill. I don't like the beast thing, so I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to encounter the knights, and I'll put this at the bottom. Watchman. What do we have here, eh? Says the chief of a heavily armed group in an unpleasant nasal tone with an extraordinary stupid accent. Aye, stinking vagabond, eh? But we dunna tolerate vagrancy here now. You can prove yourself if you're the owner of a house or manor, if you're a sir or lord, or if you're on an official mission imposed by a town council or a ruler. Then they will let you go on, condescendingly. If you can't prove yourself, you can bribe them with 5 gold, which I don't have, or let yourself be arrested 12 weeks in a mouldy, cold prison in the company of various wretches. Or let yourself be arrested. 12 weeks in a mouldy, cold prison in the company of various wretches brings you the tuberculosis disease, and you're meditating the whole time but giving up to these haughty bastards results in mind disruption 1. Okay. Or there is the eventuality of a fight to the death. Starting at 4 wounds, reducing that by 1 for every magic weapon or 3 pieces of battle equipment. I don't have magic weapons or battle equipment, and it's 5 wounds for game over, right? It is, so that would get me almost at game over. I think I just have to go to prison and get tuberculosis. Let's just note down I have tuberculosis. You know, role-playing games let you live out your wildest fantasies. So they say. Okay, encountering those guys was a bad move. What did this card look like? Okay. I thought they looked, you know, not evil, but I suppose they're not evil. They're not friendly, though. Alright. We have... possibly 2 warriors fighting, or is this like a tent perhaps? Or we've got something with a helmet on top and 2 warriors in front of it. One who's like brandishing a weapon. We have a pond, perhaps, and we have some sort of prison. I see like caves and bars. And people behind the bars. I've just been in prison, so I don't want to do it again. So I'm gonna discard this, put this at the bottom, and go in the pond ? Small town at the sea. I guess. Like, if that's the town there, and this grey thing which I took to be a pond is actually the sea, I'm having a bit of difficulty with the perspective of if this rock... This would be like a giant island or something. I don't know. Maybe just a fort rather than a real town, but quite rich as trade routes intersect here, and there's valuable access to the sea. The garrison of the fort is well armoured, and a bigger town of the same principality is so close that any robbers won't dare come here. You can have 1 wound cured here for 3 gold pieces. I don't have any wounds or gold. Not more, as the town specialises in other things, like if you have 7 gold pieces, you can invest into a big business. For 1 gold, we can board a ship that will take you for distant lands. I don't have any money. So I think I found this when I just tried playing through the game previously to get a feel for the rules. A lot of the cards involve buying things, and you don't start with money. So let me just double check that I definitely don't start with money. So I'm pretty sure you don't, but it's kind of unfortunate because it means you just skip lots of cards until you find one that gives you money. Yeah, no, you don't. You don't start with money. Okay, let's keep going. I mean, we're not dead yet, so that's a positive. I encountered this card in my first playthrough, and I can't remember if it was good or bad. I just remember that it was there. We've got some knights here and a lone castle here. I don't trust knights anymore. I'm going to discard this one. I'll... Let's put this at the bottom and meet this guy. I mean, he looks pretty nasty, but maybe he just looks bad. Grim Watchtower. Yeah, there's a tower. There's a guy watching. There is only one way through this dark valley, a moorland pass between two rocks. And though you're not sure what fortune could await you behind... You've not come such a long way just to turn around as the undead-looking guy instructs you. His comrade is limping here furiously through the moor, and you also see some moves over the top of the watchtower. If you ride a horse, I do not. If you ride a horse, not a mule, you smash the head of the undead by one mighty blow from the saddle. But the way through stony and watery moorland, while being bombarded by stones and darts from the tower and chased by the other undead, is dangerous. If you don't have a horse, the rain of darts and attacking of the guards brings 3 hits. Each of them turns into a wound if not blocked by a piece of armor. Ooh, okay. So I forced my way through the valley, but at the cost of 3 wounds. Let's start. Let's note wounds here. So I have 3 wounds, and if you get to 5, that's game over. We have some very unfriendly looking fellows. We have, I have no idea what this is. Possibly, oh, it's people impaled on spikes, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's just very dark, but it's people impaled upon spikes. And then we have some sort of court with another bunch of unfriendly looking people. I really don't want to encounter these guys. These people look terrible. Let's just get rid of those. I will chance the people on spikes and put these guys at the base of the deck. Alley of the Impaled. Going through a civilized part of land once again, far from the evil and dangers of the inhuman wilderness, your way brings you among dozens of impaled bodies. The stench is horrendous, but maybe the psychic effect is even stronger. Oh, hang on. Did I get a psychic drop from a card that I didn't note down? I just have a feeling that I did. Yes, I got Mind Disruption 1 from being in prison. Okay, so I got Fear 2 and Mind Disruption 1. Anyway, Alley of the Damned, I get Depression 2. No, Depression 1. You wonder what terrible deeds they must have done, but as you see the bodies closer, they were probably poor people, Men, women, and even a few children. Probably just peasants, maybe revolting against their masters. Your disgust with the world rises. I get disgust 1. You realize a similar fate might await you very easily if you have an outlaw, killer, or blasphemer badge. I do not. Or if you are a member of any evil cult, or have any werebeast or a vampire curse. Fear +1 if at least one of the above applies. It does not. Okay. So I've got Fear 2, Mind Disruption 1, Depression 1, and Disgust 1. I have tuberculosis and I have 3 wounds. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cards in. Okay. We have some shadowy figures in a field, one of whom has a scythe. We have a guy with a very fluffy looking bird. I like him. And we have 2 guys, one of whom has some sort of like bony skull mask and is holding a flail. I'm gonna discard these guys, put this at the bottom, and meet the Crow Man. Witch of the Snow Forest. What fortune brings such a handsome hero to a poor old woman? Though, I admit I have got some hidden qualities you might want to seize. For 1 gold piece, gold, she would cure a disease or a curse of your choice, only once. On the other hand, she can prepare an even stronger elixir for your backpack that would cure all diseases and curses, which I can consume at any time. But, I need to give my eye for this. I can also offer 2 wounds worth of flesh, which would be game over. Or if you're interested in nothing of these, she can offer you her body for a night in her hut. She swears she'll change her appearance for this special event, but on the other hand, she insists there'll be no candles burning, so better think twice. Okay, so I don't want to rip out my eye, so I guess I enjoy a night with the witch. What a beautiful figure. At least there's no psychic damage from that. Alright. What do we got here? We have some sort of animal person, perhaps, holding a trident. There's got a building here, an animal in the background. Here we have a mountain, and here we have some suspicious-looking people, one of whom has a spear. There's a horse in the background. I think let's go for this and get rid of one of these 2. I think he looks friendlier than these people. So I'll put this here. Iceberg Hermitage. What kind of inner demons are chasing you throughout the world that you can ever come to such a detached and cold place? But one morning, you see a hole in an ice wall, definitely an artificial one, and soon you find yourself sitting in the den of a very vital hermit. Vital? Okay. He wears nothing but a loincloth, even in such brutal cold, and energetic eyes shine from the face with a respectable beard. But they are not the eyes of a fool. This is a sage for sure. My elk left last week, and my bear hasn't come here for a whole month, and it's a whole year to this very day since the snow monkey, whom I call my sister, said goodbye to me, departing for higher, even more severe places. And now I see it clear. The time has come for me to leave too, but not for the even deeper wilderness. No, I am now to bring my wisdom that sprouted in seclusion to mankind. Yes, if I do it alone, they would throw things at me for sure. Heavier, harder, or sharper, depending on their mental level. But with you as my companion, the mob would not dare to lynch me. Ha ha! Will you accept the cheerful philosopher as your companion? Every 3 turns with him, a psychic drop of your choice is healed. But buyings in town and villages are 1 gold high, and sellings are 1 gold lower, as people are skeptical about your 2 wise party. Ooh. I think I want this guy. Yeah. Okay, let's note down, I guess, companions. Philosopher. Cures one psychic drop every 3 turns. And I guess I'll just keep track of that down here. Okay. Alright, so I should also note down the selling effects. One gold buy or sell penalty. I can always refer to the card if I need it. It's only here. Okay. So he doesn't start by healing something. It's every 3 turns after this one. So this is turn 1. Okay, we have some people dancing, probably doing some sort of ritual in the wilderness. We have a knight charging on horse, charging a fearsome monster, and we have like a ambulatory tree, I think. I'm kind of curious about this one, even though it seems bad. So I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna put it at the bottom of the deck. I don't know what the deal is here, and then I think I'm gonna get rid of the tree person. I'll probably regret this, but okay. Child's at play. These are children. Oh my god. I suppose it is a small figure. I can kind of see it. What a sight! One is hopping around, shrieking. Another is shrieking and limping, and the third gargles from foam in his wide mouth. The fourth one looks at you like you're his father. The fifth looks like he has just been bullied to death by the others, and the sixth is laughing uncontrollably, and the seventh one is doing things his parents should have already prohibited him. They are a vicar. But there are no parents here. There is not a teacher or a preacher to put them in order. Only God himself supervises these innocent beings now. Your impression is super clean. Mind disruption +1. I think that's fair. I've seen children before. They're definitely a sanity blasting experience. Okay. 2. I don't like the look of these guys. So we've got a tower or a guy. Let's go for the guy. Put the tower at the back. Also, let's just check the Pilgrim... Not Pilgrim, the Sage. It's just every 3 turns. I guess it's probably at the end of the turn that it heals the psychic drop. Okay. Spirit Castle. Yeah. I can see that. You ate the wrong mushroom during a forest camping. Well, yeah, it did taste good, and your belly welcomed it as a nice dinner after the all-day travelling, but the especially vivid and wild dreams that have just come are something one does not wish for every night, if for any night at all. There is a castle in your dream. If you are a worshipper of the old gods, I'm not. If you are a member of the Satanic Church, I'm not. Otherwise, it is a castle reflecting your inner darkness or glow. Some of the points of your spiritual fitness. Killer badge, I do not have. Every psychic drop is -1. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, -6. I don't have any of the positives. So it's -6. With negative spiritual fitness, you're a victim of the lowest lusts and fears, waking tired and scared. Fatigue and dismay +1. I don't have any fatigue yet. This is a new one. Fatigue and... Oh, I didn't have dismay either. I had disgust and depression, but not dismay. I'm not in a good place mentally. Fear 2, mind disruption 2, depression 1, disgust 1, dismay 1, and fatigue 1. Okay, but now it's turn 3, so if we don't die this turn, we'll be able to cure. I'll go for probably fear because, you know, getting 3 of something is enough to lose, and fear feels like a very likely one to get. We have unfriendly looking people. I'm going to get rid of the unfriendly people. I'm going to put the skull boat the base of the deck. And so go for the nice tree scene. This trees never hurt anyone. Travelling through a vast forest. Deep forests are a vast no man's land. Here, one can encounter practically anything, much more likely a bad thing. All the beneficial events are not excluded entirely. Such a meeting is sometimes decided by experience, other times by pure chance. Count the cards in the Your Past deck. Lower than 3 counts as 3, and if the number is higher than 9, sum up all the digits until you get 1 to 9, then read the events. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which is 1 plus 2, that is 3. You got lost in the forest and it took a whole lot of time to get out. You almost died here. Fatigue plus 2. I did die here. Because that brings me up to 3 fatigue, which is, unless I am mistaken here, game over. Yes, I am doomed. Doomed completely. Okay. What else could have happened here? You get lost but make it. 4 is you get lost but make it through. That's fatigue plus 1. So I got the worst result. You found the secret sacrificial shrine to the elder gods. If you remember their cult, do something. In the heart of the forest, you see things that should never. Okay, so 6 would have got me mind disruption plus 1, which would also have been end. If I got a 9, all of my wounds would have been healed. Okay, so that's game over. That is our first Doom Pilgrim game done. Well, that was a little anticlimactic. What was it? Like 13 cards in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. 13 cards in. Okay. I guess let's try one of the expansions. So, I'm inclined to add Futile Havens, which makes the game a little easier. So it says the recommended way of playing is to mix all of the cards from the 3 expansions into the base game, shuffle it up, and then you deal out the 90, 60, or 45 cards you're playing with. I think let's try making it a little easier with just the Futile Havens cards. Wow, there's a lot of text here. Okay. Guess we can get into these if we need them. Yep. Okay. Right. So they have a symbol on. So I'm looking for like the one's a little house symbol. I think. Yes, the symbol is in the top corner of the card. So let's just. Okay. I guess I'll order these. I'll group them by symbol to make it a little easier. I'm not reading any of the text on these. I'm just flipping through. But then we'll shuffle all the Futile Havens into the standard deck. Okay, these over here. Right, so now we have our base game, and yes, shuffling this is a real pain. So I'm gonna just kind of mix these through to get a head start. Let's see. Let's a few cards and. I'll kind of pre-mix these like this, and then I'll, try to shuffle it in. It's just a real pain shuffling these giant cards. Okay, let's shuffle that a bit, then I'll mix in the rest. Like, look, it's bigger than my hand, so there's no way I can shuffle normally, and shuffling lengthways is hard because they're just so big. Right, let's mix in some more Feudal Havens cards. Got one more, I'll just put this in the middle. Oops. Let's just deal this out into a bunch of piles and kind of mix those up that way. So I was dealing these out semi-randomly. I don't know what order the cards are in, so it's pretty shuffled already, I suppose. But I don't want to have, like, my new Safe Havens cards, like, evenly spaced. That wouldn't be very exciting. Just avoid that if possible. Right, one more small pile to go. This is okay now. I'm sure it's not very well shuffled, but it's fine. Right, okay. Okay, so we failed miserably on a 60-card game last time, but we've now got some cards in here that should help us, so I think let's try another 60-card game. And there's... can't count out 30 now because there's a bunch more in here, so... Let's see. $10. I don't know why I did these in separate piles. That's another 10. So that's 30 cards. 30 more. $40. 50. 60. Okay, let's just move the other cards off to the side. All right. Let's get started. Okay, so we have a lone person maybe walking through the wind because it got kind of like a hood thing here, like blowing back, or passing up behind him. We have a small, reasonably cozy looking settlement. I feel this is probably one of the safe places. So let's turn up to a new sheet for notes. And we have sort of horrible monster thing here. Let's get rid of the monster. I'm going to put this for later because if this is a safe place, there's no point in encountering it now because we're all okay. And I will meet this guy. Snow troll hunt. You feel like a monster hunter when you start following a path of troll footprints in the snow, but after exhaustive wandering through the freezing landscape, which gives one fatigue, you find yourself going in circles and it seems like the troll is following you. Who is the hunter and who is the prey now? I was going to say, that sounds like a terrible idea. I see some troll footprints in the snow and I'm like, I'm going to follow these. Like, no, that is not what to do when you see troll footprints. You should go in the opposite direction unless you're armed with a bunch of anti-troll weapons, which I'm not. But anyway, we're in this situation now. The savage beast is so cunning and dexterous in its natural environment that no weapons, even magical ones, or battle equipment can be of any service here. The monster could even roll a huge stone from a rock on you. Be super careful. Only your experience in hunting monsters helps. Count all monster trophies you've had. I don't have any. 0 monster trophies. The troll ripped your hand off, inflicting 1 wound on you, and threw one of your companions down from the rock before you managed to kill it. Okay, wounds 1. I suppose I should note down that it is my hand specifically, because if I lose the other hand, that's game over. There we go. Hand 1. Okay, that was a bad choice. I thought this was like a person on a journey, but I guess it's a troll. Oh, it's these guys. We saw this card before, but we didn't do it. We have someone here with they're holding a stick that has 2 bits of wood tied to the end, maybe, or 2 bits of metal tied to the end. And we have some knights in front of a castle. I'm going to put this one away, as these knights look aggressive. I'm going to put this to the bottom of the deck, and I'm going to visit this one. Something about this scene just feels nice, which I'm sure that's like famous last words, but I don't know. Aha! It's one of my Haven cards. What about it? What about it? Is it that looks nice here? I guess then so we have 2 knights who are armed, but they're not really standing in an aggressive pose at all. And we have someone on like a rearing horse behind. Like there's no like action happening in this scene. Maybe that's why it feels safe. Anyway, renowned stables. Soldiers are guarding their precious treasure in this outpost. It's not gold we're talking about here, but horses. However, for gold, they can be traded. Maybe even for your own. 5 gold, thoroughbred horse. 6 gold, exquisite horse. 7 gold, Norse breed giant horse. 12 gold, Shamik, the horse of heroes. I don't have horses here. I don't have money, rather. Get rid of that. Okay. We have a man in like a leather mask with a whip, and he has some very thin looking dogs, like they've got exposed ribs. Undead dogs, perhaps. We have a bunch of pointy people, orcs maybe, and we have some very buff furries. None of these look like good choices. I think I'll... I really don't like the look of this one. Like, he has 3 dogs that have like exposed bones. That just seems really bad. And then I'm gonna put the pointy guys to the bottom and risk it with the buff furries. Hob trolls. Wandering through cold and bleak northern halls, you meet a gang of hob trolls. They do not seem inevitably hostile, but they look hungry. You know these primordial beings are immune to human magic. No magic weapon would help you against them, so maybe it would be reasonable to try dealing with them in a non-violent manner. As they handle at least fragments of human speech, you soon understand that they hold some opinion, that there are some options if they should let you pass in peace. Decide which option you can afford, or pass to the violent solution below. Give them a bag of pepper. I don't have that. Give them 2 pieces of your battle equipment. Don't have that. Give them an ally as their dinner. Don't have that. Violent way. They attack in big numbers, very chaotic moves, so no special equipment or skills will help you a lot. 2 wounds before I cut them to pieces. If I prevail, which I will because 2 wounds isn't enough to kill me, you gain at least 4 gold pieces from among the members of their victims in nearby caves and a monster trophy. Ooh. Okay, well I have no choice but to fight them. So I fight the hob trolls, which gives me 2 more wounds. So I'm on 3 wounds now. But I get a monster trophy. Let's note that here. Hob troll ears. I don't know if the specific nature of the monster trophy matters, but I'll note it down anyway. And I have 4 gold. I can actually buy something. Okay. You can see me adjusting my headset all the time. I don't know why. For some reason, when streaming, my headset often feels uncomfortable. Yet, when I'm like in voice chat with people, I can wear it for 3 hours at a time and it's fine. But I don't know. Very odd. Anyway, I'm going to open a window actually, as it is a little warm in here. One moment. Okay. Right, we have two violent-looking guys. One dumb-looking guy and one violent-looking guy. We have sort of monster, and we have this guy we saw last time who doesn't look very friendly. But at least this guy looks like human scale. So I'm going to get rid of these guys and put the monster at the bottom. Meet these guys. Krampuses. These grey hills seem to be the domain of Krampuses. Half men, half fiends. Not as powerful as one would expect from a real demon, but cunning and super cruel. They've already smelled your scent and started to gather for a manhunt. Act fast! Sum up anti-Krampus points, or AKP, for this combat. I don't have any. 3 or less. You hardly make it through to relative safety. Pick up your new 2 wounds, 1 dismay, and flee as fast as you can if you still can. I can't flee. That brings me to 5 wounds. I'm dead. Okay. That was 1, 2, 3. We got 4 cards in this time. This is a pretty hard game. Let's just mix everything back in. So even with the so the easy mode for the game is 45 cards. We've got nowhere near that in our games so far. We've got 13 and 4, and this is with the safe areas mixed in. So, I think I had a similar experience when I tried playing before, in that I just died horribly. Let's try shuffling these somehow again. Split them up into piles and combine the piles. Move that out the way. Alright, let's try again. So 60 more cards. It's 30. There we go, that's 60. Okay, new page. Right, what have we got here? Okay, so we've seen 2 of these cards before, but we've not actually encountered these yet. So, but this one is new. So I think before I took this one out and put this one at the bottom, but actually thinking about it, this has 3 guys. This only has 1 guy, so I'm gonna get rid of this. And I think I'm not sure who looks friendlier between these 2. So I think I'm gonna go for this guy. I'll put this at the bottom. Wandering Executioner. Wandering from village to village, still looking for an opportunity to behead someone. I am a slave to my own axe. It looks like an ordinary axe, I know, but don't let yourself be fooled by its visage as I did. I can assure you there is an evil spirit inside, craving perpetual carnage. You think I'm joking? Well then, let's arrange something. Take the axe from me. I'm sure the curse will leave me if you take it voluntarily on yourself. So I can decide to leave him alone with his stupid axe, or take his axe, getting a magic weapon, but also the curse that will force you to always choose the most violent solution. Ooh. Ooh. A magic weapon. I've not had any weapons so far, and I've had to take the violent option many times, so I feel maybe this isn't so bad. I will have a curse, though, and if you get 3 curses, I believe it was. Yes, 3 curses is game over. But curses seem pretty rare. This will be the first curse I've got. So, I think I'm going to do this. Yeah. Let's take it. So we'll have magic weapon. The magic weapon is a cursed axe. We must always choose the most violent option. Okay, we got a cool skeleton guy. Someone with poor push-up form, and a group of people with a horse in the background. I mean, the skeleton seems pretty bad news. I think let's put these to the bottom and take the other guy. Oh, it's going to be a wolfman, isn't it? Let's think this through. Do I want to encounter a wolfman? I mean, I've not seen this card before, so I'm not sure, but it looks a lot like a wolfman, right? It's a very hairy person with long limbs that's on all 4s. It's a wolfman. I think I'm going to put off the wolfman. Actually, do I even want to discard the wolfman? What looks scarier? A wolfman or a skeleton with a big scythe? I mean, the wolfman could give me a curse of lycanthropy, which would be bad. So I'm going to get rid of the wolfman, actually, and I'm going to put the skeleton at the bottom of the deck, because it's just a skeleton. What can it do? I'm going to meet these people. Merchant monks. Really? Yeah, I suppose. Sure. They don't look like... So I decided to pick these guys because they don't look like too hostile. I suppose they could be merchant monks. They're kind of wearing like robes. God forbids trading, don't you know? You asked the monks, amused. But God is dead, don't you know? Answers the chief monk, not amused at all. And we must live somehow, so that's what we do. But if you don't want to buy anything, no pressure. Never mind, show me what you've got. I don't have any money, so I can't buy what they got. But what they got is a mule, a horse, a medicine pack, and a steroidal fungus. Pretty nice, but I don't have any money. I only have my axe. Alright. I'm gonna get rid of this one. And put this at the bottom. There's some sort of lake monster here. And here we just got some sort of lake that will probably have a monster. There's a cave. Okay. Cave in the moors. Travelling through hostile moors, suddenly you feel someone is watching you. And indeed, there seems to be an eye's reflection in a nearby cave. If your fear is one or more, you avoid the cave, frightened, and move on. Do not read this card any further. I have no fear. Otherwise, you enter the cave as a brave, though maybe a bit foolish, adventurer. The cave leads much deeper into the dark than you could expect. Once you're so deep, the light from outside almost fades completely. You hear faint steps in the entrance and feet squashing in the water. There really was someone inside, hidden in some niche when you walked around, and now he fled. The shock that you might have been cut from the dark makes it impossible to react quickly enough to catch him. Meanwhile, he managed to steal your horse or mule if you had any waiting outside. Okay, so just nothing bad happens, really. Okay. Okay, we have a peaceful looking tent, we have a birdman, and we have some sort of horrible beast. Let's get rid of the beast. This looks like a safe place, so I'm going to leave this for later. As I'm not in a bad state right now. I'll encounter the birdman. Werehawks! Oh no! Lycanthropy. You've never heard about creatures like this, but it does not make them less real. Their beaks are sharp and they seem not to understand human language, or they just do not want to understand when you try to negotiate. They only seem to want one thing: fresh meat. Your meat. They are super accurate in attacks in unprotected spots. Any piece of armor only slows you down and makes you more vulnerable. Okay. You get 1 wound for every piece of armor before you manage to repel them. If you're still in just the clothes you began your journey with, better for you as you repel them after a bit of acrobatics. Or you can make a dangerous move, gaining 1 wound and the curse, but also a monster trophy, Beak of the Werehawk. I mean, that sounds like the most violent option, right? And I have to pick the most violent option. Yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fight the Werehawks. I get a wound. So I have Curse of the Werehawk. And a trophy. So I have 2 curses now. I didn't get any curses at all in the previous games, and I've got 2 in 1, 2, 3, 4 cards now. Oh, I got this one. 4. I've forgotten what it was. But these guys, this guy looks friendly. I want to meet this guy. So let's meet him. Oh, this was a town by the sea, wasn't it? Where I could trade. I don't have any money yet, so I'm going to put this one at the bottom. I'm going to encounter this guy because he looks friendly. And I'm going to discard this guy because he's guarding a path, which makes him dangerous. Wandering actors. As they're wearing expressive masks, they may surprise or even scare someone, but the big colourful ladder cart they are pulling is too typical not to recognise, even from afar. They are just wandering actors, not monsters. You notice one thing less typical, though, that they pull it, and not horses. To hell with them, says a man who is most likely the leader of the jester of the group. But can horses even go to hell? Anyway, they'll get at least a serious beating when they return. No bloody way, Arnie. Your constant beatings are the reason they left. A big man, maybe the group's strongman, interrupts him. I'll break your eel spine if you don't sweat on the honesty of your unknown mother that your filthy hand will never grip the whip again. Despite seeming rough at first, they treat you nicely, healing 1 wound. I don't have any wounds. and each of your allies, and 1 point of a psychic drop of your choice. I don't have any psychic drops yet. I see this. This is the thingy, the Futile Havens. So that's why it's so good. So you want to repay them by providing horse for them. If you cannot afford any of the following, you leave like an incompetent and ungrateful worm. I don't think I'm going to... I think I'm just going to not take this negative consequence, because I feel like an ungrateful worm because they have healed me, and I can't repay them. They haven't healed me, so there's no reason to feel guilty. So that's that. Let's have a look. We keep getting these guys. I got these guys again. This one, I believe this is a card from the base game. I think I saw this in my last playthrough, but I can't remember what it does. I passed up this card twice now, so I'm curious about these guys. I'm going to pick this one, and let's get rid of the pointy people. Put this one at the base of the deck. Sir Longblot. Get out of the way of Sir Longblot, you worm! Shouts an ugly squire accompanying a big, tough-looking noble. The noble's tall body is all hidden in a coat with a fur collar on the widest shoulders you've ever seen, but no doubt there is heavy armour under it as a compliment to his giant sword. Are your ears full of mud, or are you really as slow as you look? Get off the road now, you son of a swine! You do not know what quest the Sir is on, but maybe you should end his suffering here. Well, if you yourself are a Sir or even Lord, you cannot let these insults without the proper recompense, but if you can and want to bear the humiliation, let them pass. Obviously, I can't bear that because I've got the cursed sword that makes me always... the cursed axe that makes me always choose the most violent option. So, okay. Otherwise, you attack the squires, getting 2 wounds during the fight, from which a magic weapon or every 3 pieces of non-magic battle equipment prevents 1. So, I get a wound. Then, let them live or finish them. I have a wound, I have a killer badge. If you've killed them, Sir Longblot just remains silent and lets you pass. If you want to attack him now, see below. Obviously, I want to attack him because I have the cursed axe. So, the duel with the Bestial Knight brings 4 wounds. 1 prevents for every 3 pieces of battle equipment, and 1 prevents for every magic weapon you use. And 1 for every 3 pieces of fighting equipment. Fighting experience. See your past. How have I fought before? So I fought the Werehawks. That's all I fought. So I would take 3 wounds, but I have to because I have the cursed sword. But I've already got 1 wound there, so it gets me to 4 wounds total. Which is near death, but not dead yet. He fights to his last breath, so you must kill him, getting a killer badge and the huge sword. To wear it, you need both hands. Do I have both hands? Do have both hands, yeah. It was last game when I lost a hand. You need both hands, plus a strength enhancement. Counts as a magic weapon in terms of its power, but it is of no use against supernatural beings. Or sell it for 5 gold. I'm going to sell the sword. I have money. Nice. But I really need a place to rest up and heal these wounds, because 4 wounds is just 1 away from losing the game, and so I'm probably not going to last very long in this game again. This is a really hard game. Okay. We have Skull Face Man with a flail. He doesn't look nice. We have someone walking, dragging a big axe behind him. And we have 2 figures on a distant hill. I think let's get rid of Skullface. Let's put this at the bottom of the deck. And let's see what's going on here. 2 traveling students. have stumbled upon you, lying on the stony ground near a big rock. There is said to be a great fortune in a cave here somewhere, but no one knows where the entrance is. Maybe you found it. Have you found the fortune as well, or have you just been stumbling in the dark? Well, it seems you still are stumbling in the dark. Know what I mean. Next time, bring a lamp with you. Might be useful even here outside, as there is no sun all days. Know what? Take this. Our nicest lamp for sure. If you don't mind, it's broken. Maybe you really have been in some secret cavern somewhere, but you do not remember, and there is a big bulge on your head. You probably managed to return up here and then fainted. Maybe you just fell off horseback, or a false ally of yours hit you to your head from behind, but you do not remember if you had any horse or ally. Well, get yourself together and go. The ground is freezing terribly. If you had any allies or animals, they are all gone now, and you don't remember how it happened. Confusion +1. Okay, it's our first psychic drop of this game. Okay, we have the Demon Dog Man. I really don't like that guy. We have a town. I'm going to go for the town. I'm going to put this in the deck. Because the town is a place where you can spend money. Secluded Haven. Seems like a nice sanctuary, far enough from the hustle and bustle of the big world. You want to regain your strength here. Refresh yourself. Maybe buy some equipment as well. Local people were kind. Very kind. Calm. Serene. And smelly. You should have known it. They are all terminally ill. You have taken refuge in a huge leprosarium, among those who have already reconciled with life and death. Flip a coin. Or do not. Heads, you've got leprosy, you are sure. Tails, you've got leprosy, but you still believe you do not. Okay, I got leprosy. I fell for the classic blunder. I mistook a leprosarium for a town. Okay, so here's two. Here we clearly have a town of some sort. Here we have castle, and here we have dangerous-looking people. Let's get rid of them. Let's go to the town. I desperately need to heal some wounds, so I want to keep checking out towns and safe-looking places somewhere I can buy some healing. Big town, yes. A big town in a rich area brings various opportunities for a hero, even for a mischievous coward, for a rich as well as a poor, eager to change his state no matter what. The results you get until you leave depend on the initial conditions. If more than one applies, choose one. Okay. If you have experience of 5 or more fights, I don't think I do. I think I have like 2 fights. You behave it as an adventurer hired for quests, getting 2 wounds and 6 gold, and plus a hero badge. 1, 2. Yeah, I've only fought twice. If you have a saint badge, you do not. I do not. If you have a blasphemer badge, I don't. If you have a killer badge, I do. You are hired as an assassin. You have no choice. Kill or be killed. But the reward is sweet. 7 gold. If you endure 2 wounds, plus the fact that you lost a leg on your dangerous trek. I can't. I have no choice. Kill or be killed, but I'm gonna be killed. If more than one applies, choose one. So the last one is if you have 10 or more gold. I don't. So I have to go for the assassin option, but then I die. Okay, that's game over again. How many cards in did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards in. An easy short game is 45 cards. We've not even got to... No, we did get to a quarter of that in the first game. Okay. I'm going to have a short break, stretch my legs, and then maybe we'll have a look at... Maybe we'll bring in the Pagan Echoes expansion, because that has a mixed... It says Pagan Echoes is a thematic and balanced expansion that has both deadly risks and great benefits. It adds elements of heathenry and paganism to your game, to your journeys. I'm definitely looking for some great benefits. I don't want to bring in Fatal Ends because it's hard enough without that. But yes, we will get to it in a few minutes' time. Okay, let's try out Pagan Echoes, which is the spirally one. Right, let's mix everything in here. Deck is getting more and more unwieldy as I hang on. Is my camera frozen? Is OBS frozen? I don't see my model moving. Hello, testing. My camera seems to have stopped going. That's odd. Okay, let me try poking the cameras and let's see. Okay. That's to close VTube Studio to reset that camera. Okay, that's working. What about the desk camera though? That's completely stopped. What if I unplug it and plug it in again? That's the solution to all technological problems. Can't really show off playing a card game if my camera for the cards isn't working. No, that's just not picking up any video at all. What's going on there? Okay. There we go. I don't know what was up with that. I had to so I have the two webcams, one for the face tracking and one for the desk cam, and restarting VTube Studio fixed the face tracking cam, but for the desk cam, this one, I had to like disable and re-enable the video source in OBS. That was odd. Anyway, let's mix in these cards. As you can see, the deck it's really unwieldy at this point. Just mix in these last few cards and then try to shuffle this monster. I wonder if the USB hub like lost power or something and everything just went wrong. Whatever. Ah, so big. Good God. Okay, right. Let's deal this into a number of smaller piles. I wonder what the optimal way to shuffle cards like this is. Cards where you can't actually, like, you physically can't do like a riffle shuffle or an overhand shuffle. I wonder what the optimal way to do it is. I feel like dealing into piles, it kind of helps in that it splits up adjacent cards, but it doesn't. I feel like it probably doesn't do much for randomizing. Guess I'm going to go on a slight diversion, just have a look. Just have a quick Google for how to shuffle very large cards. Let's see. Divide the deck into smaller piles and riffle shuffle or shuffle them individually. No. It's not that it's a thick deck. It's a deck of physically large cards. Okay, let's see. The Corgi Shuffle, apparently, or the Wash, is to spread all the cards face down on the table and mix them around for a couple of minutes. That's basically the way. Yep, split it into more manageable. Spread them all out on the table. I'm not going to do that because there's got to be like 100 cards. No, there were 90 cards in here to start with. I've added 2 expansions. There's got to be like 120 cards in here now. Let's just cut these. Combine. Maybe I can slightly shuffle each small pile a little bit. Yep. Shuffle the smaller piles together, I suppose. Yeah, you can kind of shuffle them like this when you don't have that many cards, but it's not great. And then, of course, you've got to combine these. I'm starting to think that this game is so hard that really the only way to actually successfully do a run, like get all the way through, is to play enough and just lose enough that you do learn the meanings of the cards. You know, given how early on we've been losing. Okay, let's see if I can shuffle these slightly larger piles together, and then I can, I guess, cut the 2 larger piles, and that'll be fine. I'm sure this makes for riveting watching. Okay, that's half the deck shuffled. Oh, the other half. Okay, we'll cut these. There we go. Okay, right. Now let's deal off 60 more cards, and we'll try again. I'm actually gonna... I don't really trust my shot. I'm gonna alternate dealing between these piles. That's 30. $50. $60. Okay, let's try this again. Will it be like 5th time lucky? Okay, this one feels kind of pagan-y, so I suspect this is from the new expansion. You got, like, animal people kind of cavorting. This one was... this was a tower where we could buy something, I think. We don't have any money, so I think I'll put this at the bottom. And this one, we got, like, rock people. I don't trust rock people. So get rid of the rock people. We'll put the tower at the base and turn over this swarm of apes. Yes, it's from the pagan supplement. Despite the fact there is an undisputable part of human nature in these creatures, apart from the monkey one, they do not behave very friendly. Or is it because of the human part, on the contrary? Thinking about the amount of violence and evil in the human world, you would not be surprised. Anyway, there's no time to think. You need to fight. The swarm is countless. Their moves are very chaotic, so ordinary battle equipment will not be of much use here. Any flash of metal can arouse more fury in them, and they are just as afraid as fascinated by eventual magic items. There are only two things to help. Every dog you have prevents one of incoming wounds, and every piece of spiked, thorned, or barbed battle equipment prevents one wound, because the apes are all naked and more vulnerable to such items. You can escape if you have a horse. The wounds coming from this fight are 4. I don't have any means of fighting off, like, of reducing wounds, so just opening the game with 4 wounds right off the bat. But I get a monster trophy. Ape feet, and I also have regret 1. As I see how many dead bodies lie scattered around, just because you traversed the primitive land where you had no real business to begin. Nope, where you had no real business to begin with. Okay, that was a rough opening. We have the ice cave. That was okay, right? We got some sort of sacrifice going on, and we have settlements. I don't really like the idea of a sacrifice. Settlement would be nice, but I don't have any money. Let's go to the ice cave. I'm about to regret this, aren't I, when I realise it was actually terrible and I should never have returned to the ice cave. Oh, let's see. Oh no! No, this is where I get the companion. Okay. I can accept the cheerful philosopher as a companion. Every 3 turns with him, a psychic drop of my choice is healed. Yes. Let's heal my regret at killing all the apes. Okay, we have a prison. I don't like prisons. We have a cave, an entrance into the cliff, and we have some armed person. Let's move the armed person to the bottom of the neck. Cold Mountain Cavern. Most probably, this cavern hidden in freezing mountains used to be an outlaw shelter, but many signs reveal it as being deserted for some time. The winds blow awfully this evening, so you take the cave as your own shelter for this night, outlaw or not. Before setting up your camp inside, you complete a small search of the cavern. The outlaws left some things here, and your experience as an adventurer, the total number of cards in your past deck, 2, decide how many of them you find in the cave system. Fragmented bones, rags, and broken weapons scattered out. Nothing useful. So this is the sort of thing that you would like learn as you played the game. If you know, the better that, like, the more items, the more cards I've gone through, the better this one. That's an incentive to put this one off. So it looks like you want to have between 8 and 19 items on this. If you have 0 to 7, you don't get anything. You have 20 plus, you get something bad. We have a church with some people. We have some tough guys and this guy. I'm going to get rid of the tough guys. I'm going to put the church to the bottom. And I'm going to take this guy. Hermit from the Grey Valley. Hey you, who do you think you are? A brave warrior, but as I see it, you're just a maggot. A great alchemist, maybe? The one who knows the most secrets, arcane? Well, more likely just a pile of shit. Or do you think you're a reformer? Savior of our miserable society? Heh, pig vomit and feces are way better than you. This guy's way less friendly than the last hermit. And you know what? Kill me, torture me, crucify me, or kiss me and hug me like your little sister if you prefer, but it won't change a thing. For deep inside you, you know I am right. Your days are nothing. Is this the third? This is the second one. Yeah, after the philosopher. So I get depression 1 and nihilism 1. This looks like maybe a spooky town because we've got buildings. This one is just ominous. This one is some sort of ruin. I'm going to get rid of the ominous one. I'll check out the ruin and I'll put the possible village to the bottom of the deck. Into the Raven's Land. Gallows, erected wheels, more gallows, more wheels, a cadaver here and there, but mostly just bone remains, as ravens are many here and their appetite is endless. You wander through the Gallow Hills, thinking and pondering, as there are not many other things to do if you don't want to join the scavengers in their doings. There are 3 or fewer cards in your past. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. If there are 4 to 10, philosophizing on the Gallow Hill is a nice break and summing up before going on another adventure. No effects. Perfect. And it's now been 3 cards, so I can heal a psychic drop. I'll get rid of Regret 1. We have the knights charging a monster, we have a castle, and we have a group of people. Let's get rid of the group of people. I'll go to this place and I'll put the knights at the base of the deck, because I do want to know what's going on here, but it's also dangerous, so I want to put it off. Dark Castle. One of the most dangerous... Oh no! No, it's this is... Oh, I've been to this place. Okay. I don't have any magic items useful in fights. I don't have any indoor non-magic battle equipment. I do have an ally. I have the Philosopher. +2 for every wound you can take without dying. I can't take any wounds without dying. -1 for every psychic drop you have. Okay. So what is this? This is a 0 overall. 0 or less. Yeah, no surprise. You died here with no... Oh my god. That's the end. 6 cards in this time. Alright, let's see. How many games of Doom Pilgrim have we played? 1, 2, 3. We've played 4 games and we've not even made it like a third of the way to success. Our best game was the first one. We got like 13 cards. Okay. I think I'm going to call it here. I will just sort out these cards. Put them back where they were. But yes, we've been at this for 2 hours, not really had much success. So I do see the potential in this game, but it's tough. It feels like you really need to play this a lot, and so learn meanings of all the cards. Otherwise, you're just gonna lose over and over and over again. So it might be something that I return to for like another, just like intermission session. But I think probably 2 hours of it at a time is enough. Also, I need to come up with some better way of shuffling these cards. Okay, that's that pile. Nearly sorted. I don't think I could leave them mixed because I don't think they would fit into the box, which is a shame. Okay, that is all the cards sorted out, I think. Let's see, so we have Doom Deeper here. And we didn't get to the fatal ends because it was hard enough without them. But let's just have a look. Like this guy, this looks like a pretty fatal end, I think. Let's put these away. I do like the little fold-up boxes. I think this is quite neat. Alright, well, that was Doom Pilgrim. A very hard game. But interesting. I like the art. The art is very, very strange. I believe there's a sci-fi version. I'm gonna quickly look that up. Let's see. Doom Pilgrim. Yes, there's a sci-fi one called Elder Space, which it's the same system. But obviously it's all sci-fi themed. And there's a few more Doom Pilgrim expansions that I've not got. I just picked up this one as this seems like the most obvious expansion to get. But if it was the first expansion, but there's a few others somewhere. Let's see, what else is there? So there's a black bag expansion where you have a little bag that has nearly 200 small cards, which have like a little like random event on, and the idea is you kind of draw tiles from the bag, or draw small cards from the bag, like in between drawing cards from the deck, and it's just like a small thing. And there's another expansion called Flails and Citadels, which adds 54 new cards. Then there's, as I said, there's Elder Space, the sci-fi version. Looks like there's one called Sins of Mordred, which is maybe also a Doom Pilgrim thing. But maybe like a standalone game rather than an expansion to it. Anyway, yes, that's Doom Pilgrim. So, guess I will end the stream here. I will learn how to play Nathalis by next time, as that is what we will be beginning. Monday next week. So this is a procedural dungeon crawler where, let's just see if I can quickly find the dungeon generation rules. Mapping, page 84. Let's have a look. I like the art in the book. It's quite nice. Yes, so it's a like procedural dungeon generator where we essentially roll for like random dungeon tiles, and combine them to form rooms, and we progress through the dungeon. So that'll be fun. Looking forward to that. And on Friday, we're continuing with Traveller. So we just started the new Pirates of Drenax game. Last week was entirely like Session 0 stuff, so character creation, really. So the campaign proper kicks off this Friday, where I'll give like a bit of backstory, just a brief bit of intro, and then we will get to adventuring and space piracy. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.